Okay, so let's move on here, because I've chattered about the tree for quite a bit. But I did want to tell you guys, okay, remember how in last meeting I told you guys that I was going to go into a little bit more depth about us being part of the body of Christ? Because, see, remember, we went into it in, if you'll go back with me, 1 John chapter 4, verses 8 through 16. So let's go back there, guys. 1 John, remember, that's not the John after Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's the John between 2 Peter and Jude. Is it 2 Peter and Jude? No, it's 2 Peter and 2 John. I'm sorry. Okay, 1 John chapter 4. Move with me now, okay? Chapter 4, verses 4. No, chapter 4, verses 8 through 16. Sorry. Okay, so go to 8, and it says, whoever does not love does not know God. So guess what? Remember when it says, be still and know that I am God? He was saying, what he's saying, guys, is be still and know. He's not saying that the knowing part is a doing either. See, knowing is not a doing either. It's a knowing. Let me see if I can explain this in terms that would make sense. Oh, okay. This is perfect. This is based on faith and trust, okay? Because that's what you gotta have for Jesus. You know how when you look at the sky, you know it's blue? Like, you know. Well, technically it's not really blue, okay? But our sight says it's blue, okay? But you know the sky is blue. Why do you know it's blue? It's not because you know what blue looks like when you're born. No. It's because someone tells you. Mommy says, baby, or daddy says. Let's use daddy since God is typically referred to. No, you know, let's use mommy since God's typically referred to as a man. Let's refer to a woman here because God is omnisexual. Okay, so here we go. I'll explain that some other time. Okay. So mommy says, baby, look at the sky. It's blue. You trust mommy, right? You have faith that mommy's not lying. She's telling the truth, right? That's the way it is with God. He says, be still. And let me tell you who I am. And then, know that I told you the truth. Because guess what? I am the truth. What does that make you guys? Makes you the truth too. Remember what we talked about? We are joint heirs, right? We're joint heirs because we're part of his body. Okay, so back to his body. It says, God, whoever does not know love does not know God. This is 1 John chapter 4, verses 8 through 16. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit freakishly messed up today. Because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. So now we're part of Jesus' body, right? And then if you go back to 1 Corinthians, I'm going to give you a second. Chapter 12, verses 12 through 17, but really verses 12, actually that whole chapter is based on the body, okay? I mean, it's pretty much awesome. But from 12 to the end is mainly about being part of the body of Christ, okay? Now remember I told you I was going to help you to understand this a little better. Well, my good friend, Gay Thomas Wilson, from the Inside Out group out of Los Angeles, California, fantastic group, fantastic movement of love, and she actually gave us a brochure, and on this YouTube next week will be a plug for her brochure. So I really encourage you to check that out. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a plug right. I'm going to go ahead and grab the brochure. I'm going to pause the video because you need to go to the next part. But I'm going to pause the video and I'll have the brochure with me and I'll just show it to you now and you can check it out. See you in a second.